Hello, everybody. This is Dr. F Scott Feil here, and welcome to another PT Educator's Professors of Profit Vlogcast. I'm pretty excited today to have on a special guest, Dr. Jeremy Sutton, the hashtag book boss. Loving what this guy's been doing lately. Jeremy, why don't you tell us a little bit about your areas of expertise and your business here and what you've been doing lately?
Perfect. All right. Hey guys, thanks for having me on. I am Jeremy Sutton. I've been a physical therapist for 10 years, almost 11, excuse me. And so had a business in private practice, didn't enjoy it, didn't go well. But now I have an online business called Healthy Books LLC. Facebook group is Healthcare Self-Publishing Academy on Facebook. And currently in the middle of my second launch for my Book Boss University, where I take healthcare providers and teach them how to become self-published authors so they can become the authority and the seen expert in their area of expertise. So they have something to hand out to people and to further connect, further serve their population and be seen more as the expert in their field.
Yeah, Jeremy, I was kind of late to the party on your Facebook group there. I was already pretty well into my book by the time I had discovered you, but the knowledge that you drop in there and just the information that you give and you know the tips and the pointers is super amazing. I think everybody could benefit from it, and I know it helped me cross the finish line and wrap things up neatly. But can you tell us maybe a little bit about the pros and the cons of writing your own book, and maybe why clinicians or academicians should consider writing their own book?
Yeah, so I don't really know that there's any cons, to be honest with you. I'm sure there's somebody that could argue with me. And yeah, Scott, you're way more intelligent than I am, so maybe you come up with some.
About that, I don't know.
But the pros, like I have a PT student with me today. It's a Monday rotation. They do it for 5 weeks. And I was telling her, I gave one of my neck pain solutions book to a patient last week. And she said, "You didn't write this book." And I said, "Yeah, I absolutely did." She's like, "No, you didn't." And I said, flip it over. And she's like, "Oh, that's your face." I was like, "Yeah, because this is my book." And it's like just to see their eyes light up and say, "Oh, wow, like you actually took the time to research something and write it out." I mean, it's almost instantaneous buy-in to what you're saying. Unless they read your book and it sucks, then in which case they know you're an idiot. So,
Well,
but
we found the one con then, right?
yeah, we found the
Don't
one con. If
suck.
you don't suck. So, but you know, instead of giving out donuts to physicians and other businesses, I get to give my book out to people, and I actually get to give them something that'll serve them. And I've yet to give somebody a book that has said, "No, I don't want this." Whether they threw it away or whatever they did, I don't know. But I can take you about 10 feet behind me is where an orthopedic surgeon's office is, and my book is the only book in his office right now, and it has my face on it. And so, regardless of whether he ever picks it up or whatever, if he has neck pain, he has a book in there that teaches him about the solution. So, I think that's one of the biggest pros is being able to give it to people, patients, MDs, complementary services like chiropractic, massage, acupuncturist, or whatever, and be able to serve them and serve their audience, and then to start to build that complementary relationship with people is one thing. And then the second thing is, I think, for you to learn more about your topic that you want to write about, because if you go write a book, um, most people aren't going to just write one without doing some research. And so even though most of the information in the book that my co-author and I, Mark Green, who's also a PT, we wrote together, there's 47 or 48 references in it. Even though I wrote the first copy of it without putting a single reference in it, we just went back and beefed it up a little bit with research. Because I like to tell people, you know what you know, but let's show other people that you know what you know because you read it in a book somewhere or learned it. So I think there's so many pros to it.
Yeah, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I'm using my book even almost as like a lead generation magnet, like
Hmm.
you can read the book and it gives you all the steps that I took. The research that I did for it was just real life, living in the trenches for about 3 years and trying all these
Hmm.
side hustles and side gigs, seeing what worked and what didn't. I took about the top 8 or so that I'm still kind of doing today. And I put it in the book. I organized it in a way that I felt like, this is going to be the simplest way to go about doing it. And then, if you want to work more closely with me, I have a master class based off of the book. So, it really, I hope the book itself just helps people in general. That's the first phase, the first step. But, if they do want to work more closely with me, I do offer the master class on top of that too. So, it to me, yes, it established authority and expertise a little bit because it kind of showed my journey and what I'm doing up till now. But yeah, it's really just getting my message out to try to help people, as many as I can, pay down their student loans. Student loans suck. I mean, I'm living proof. I've got 2 doctoral degrees and $140,000 worth of debt. And it's like, that's just not fair to my family,
Right.
So, I had to figure out some alternative ways, and it doesn't look like the debt to income ratio is getting any better for healthcare in general, let alone physical therapy. So that was my goal, is to just show people how to get out of that hole a little bit quicker. Even if it's just a couple years, that's still, a couple years to add on to your life that'll be a little easier, a little more stress-free, and a little more financially free.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I have this student, and I was telling her, I said, look, I'm not going to waste your time today by having you write soap notes. You can figure that out later. But so I took her and I introduced her to Greg Todd, and, she wants to do dance PT. So I introduced her to some mutual friends that we have that do that, and, some different things. And I said, look, my mission now is not to treat the 8 to 10 people I'm going to see today.
Right.
Is to see thousands or hundreds or thousands, people in the world, where I can reach through my podcasts, my 2 podcasts that I have, or my books, or my students' books. And so that's what I'm all about at 11 years in. I'm more interested in reaching people that I'll never meet than what I'm doing.
Yeah. It's that one-to-one mentality versus the one-to-many mentality that I think a lot of clinicians and professors need to start considering. I think professors have it slightly easier because they're teaching maybe 30 to 50 to maybe even 100 at a time. But you can amplify that by writing a book, I think, because it reaches people that aren't in your program. So
absolutely,
I love that. Well, Jeremy, what is one expert tip you would give to somebody who's just starting out and considering writing their book?
I would say don't overthink it. I've been on the phone with several people this week as my course has been launching, and I think that's been the number one thing I've heard from people this week particularly is I have a bunch of topics that I want to write about. Well, we all have a bunch of topics we want to write about, or I do. I have about 20 books that I want to do. Yep. And so just get a piece of paper out and start writing down everything you can think about that you want to write about, and, circle the top 5 and narrow it down. Because if you want to write I think what we've been told with this huge lie is it is so hard to write a book. Well, it does take work. You just finished your book, that. Yeah. But it's not impossible.
Right.
It's not something that you can't reproduce.
Do it, anybody can do it. Trust me.
Yeah, absolutely. And once you learn the process, it's very easy to repeat it over and over and over and over. And that's why I've made some book templates for people, for my students. And so that's it. Just don't get so caught up in I have so many interests. I have so many interests that aren't even physical therapy related, way more than that are. So just get a piece of paper out, sit down at a desk with a pen and paper and start writing things down. Just dump it all on a piece of paper, do a mind map, start circling the things that you like, and then narrow it down from there. Get your next piece of paper and, finally come to one topic. And then start branching out everything you can talk about on that topic. And then you have a book planned. And that's the hardest part, is getting it planned. And once you get it planned, it's so easy to get it done. Super easy. Yeah,
I love that advice, Jeremy. Well, yeah, today's the last day to get into Jeremy's book publishing course. So, Jeremy, why don't you tell us a little bit about that, since this episode is going to release today, and this will be it. This will be your last chance to get in on the course. And then, where can people reach you if they have more follow-up questions or just want to know more about what you're up to?
Yeah, so the course is called Book Boss University. It's an 8-week online course that I host on my website, and you have we have 8 live calls. There's over 50 videos in the course. You get 4 calls with me or more if you need them. That kind of gets you unstuck. We call them author breakthrough calls. We have accountability partners. You get a free professional book cover with the course. But I could list on and on all the things that you get. But what you get really is the transformation of going from someone who knows that they're the authority to someone who is being seen as the authority. And you get to say, I've accomplished something. You feel awesome. you get to see the look in your parents' eyes when you hand them your book, and they're like, oh, I'm so proud of you, son and or daughter, and your friends and your patients, and you get all that stuff. So it's just a really cool course that I've been working on for really over 2 years, and it's continually growing. Have about 8 other experts that come in and teach marketing and social media and how to grow a TV show on Facebook and podcasting and all that cool stuff. If you want any information about that, you can send me a Facebook message, Jeremy Sutton. You can get in Healthcare Self-Publishing Academy Facebook group, or you can go to healthybooks.net/bookbossuniverse or UNIV. So, and guys, I'm up front with everything. If you're not a right fit, I'll tell you. But I would love to I'm looking for about 5 more people today. And so when I get those 5, we're going to shut it down, and I'm going to focus on them, and we'll keep going. But, F Scott, I like to tell everybody, if you want to write a book and you feel like it's not the right time to buy, then get in my free Facebook group. Everything you need to know is in there. It's just more concise, and you get more of me by getting in the group. Like you said, you can read the book, or you can get in the masterclass if you want that extra touch that people need and want your handheld. So yeah, that's it. That's my pitch.
Yeah, if you guys want to become the guy who wrote the book on it, or the gal who wrote the book on it, Jeremy's the guy to go see. Like I said, I've enjoyed the Facebook group tremendously, and I think I've got a couple books lined up now too, after getting that first one out of the way. So appreciate all you're doing, Jeremy. Thank you so much. I hope that there's some professors and some clinicians who will consider diving into your course and writing their own book, because it's definitely been worth it so far. It's been a great journey.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Later, bud.
Bye.